Hello everyone, it's Janet here with another design team project for Beverly at the Piece by Piece, and her store can be found at www.thepiecebypiece.com. And I did a little birthday project for this month's project. It was my birthday a couple days ago, so I wanted to do a little birthday project. So I started with this box that I had purchased from Michael's. I believe it was like a Mary Englebright box. It had a real dark pattern on it, so I covered it with gesso and then with a creamy pink paint. And then on top of that, down here on the side, I used some of the Divine collection. This is Prima, and then this sheet was Canzone, and it's this top. I used this top piece here around the edge. And I did purchase these papers and quite a few of the embellishments from Beverly's store a little while back. I noticed she still has a few of the items, so she sells a lot more than just laces and trims, so make sure you check that out. So I put that all the way around the box, and then on top of that I layered some lace, and Beverly sells this really wide lace, and I will put the link to my blog down below, and on my blog I will have links to all the products used in this video. So it's this really wide lace, so I cut this part of it off and then I layered that over the top of the paper, and I used Fabri-Tac to glue it down onto the paper, and I just love the dimension that it gives, and you can still see the beautiful paper, but it gives a really nice dimension. And I've been noticing in fashion lately, they've been using a lot of patterned fabrics and covering them with lace materials. Yesterday I purchased a blouse that was a turquoise and white striped knit, and then over the top of the front they have a cream lace fabric, and it's just beautiful, and you can still see the pattern peeking out from underneath. So I've been incorporating that into some of my projects. And then down below here I used some of this beautiful, beautiful fan trim from Beverly's store. This sold out right away, and I've been hoarding it, but I really am trying to use my things if I have a use for them, and I really thought it looked nice on the bottom of this box and didn't take away from the pattern there. So I went all the way around the edge with that. And then right here I used some of this cream trim from Beverly's store, and that went really nice around the edge. And then on top here I used some of this pink lace trim and kind of mitered it around the square on the top. See there? And this is out of stock at this time, but I think there's similar items in the store. And when the box came with the plastic window in it, but I popped the plastic out in order to paint the box, and then when I finished with the project I cut a new piece of transparency and glued it on the inside of the lid. So that's how I did that. And inside, this is the top of the spool, and I used some of this beautiful trim here. It just makes the perfect flower, and this is from Beverly's store, and I made this flower on top, and then it just has a little brad that I had also purchased from Beverly. It's from the Prima Lyric collection, so it says friend, and so I have that in the center of the flower. And this is just a vintage spool that I have made a little birthday banner, and I've wrapped it around the spool, and the banner can come off and be used just as a banner, and then it can go back on and be stored on the spool and then put back in the box. So I used some of these. These are also from Beverly's store. These were some clothespins and a butterfly from the Prima Lyric collection. The Lyric and the Divine collection, and a lot of the Prima collections just go together very nicely. And so I used some twine to put all the pieces of the banner together, and I made long ends on both ends so that if someone wants to hang it up at their desk or in their house, they can easily do that. So then the banner just unwinds off of the spool like this. And so for the banner, this was just the perfect size, but it would be easy to cut little triangles too, or even cut these down. This was from this Divine collection, Belade from Prima, and it already has all these little banner pieces. So I just cut them apart, and I kept it very, very simple. I just used some letters from my stash on each one, and the whole banner says happy birthday. And then at the top of each one, I used some of this beautiful dainty little trim from Beverly's store, a little piece on each one. So that is at the top of each piece, and then I've just overlapped it and glued it on the back. So then it just unwraps like so, and so then you get the whole, and I'm not going to be able to show it much on frame, but I will have some pictures on my blog. I've taken some pictures of it all hung up. So, but anyway, it just unravels just like that. And then I don't have it, I just have it wrapped around the top several times with the twine, and that's so that you can take it off of the spool, but then you can just wind it back on. And then also on the spool, I've wrapped around some of this gorgeous trim in Beverly's store. It's this beautiful cream lace here, and just to give it, I just wrap that around the whole spool there. And then there's a peek at the flower again. Actually, it says friend. So I really liked how it came out, and I just got to thinking, you know, there's so many of these type of things you could do. You could do a congratulations, a baby, and it make a really nice little gift. And then I also made just a very small little card to go with it. Used the same technique with the same lace, and this on this side I used the other side of the lace, the scalloped here, and I used that, and I made a scallop on the bottom of this card. So here again, just use some Fabri-Tac. Very simple little card. Made a little banner, happy birthday, and underneath, well, I wrapped the card around with some of this gorgeous silk. All this stuff is so wonderful. And Beverly sells several colors, and she sells it in the narrow and then in the wider, and this is the narrow. So it's just perfect to work with. And I just used one of my Wild Orchid Craft flowers and some more twine for a very simple but pretty little card. So that's my project for this month. Thanks everyone so much for all of your sweet comments, and I hope everyone has a lovely day. Bye!